Thomas, I want to dig in a little bit more in terms of why you're bullish on tech, because I think a lot of people would like to be, but they're almost shell shocked because, as you say, there's just been so much carnage within the space. So, what are some areas, or what do you look at that gives you confidence to go into tech?
Yeah, one interesting data point that came out that was Morningstar has they aggregate fund flow going all the way back to like early 90s, 92, like when the data first started to really start to get compiled. What's interesting here, we've seen the largest tech outflow out of tech funds and ETFs ever in the history of them compiling data. If you think about that, that's kind of curious. Like the largest outflow ever. What would happen in the dot-com bubble? Wasn't surely that valuations we were trading on 76 times earnings going into that, right? We were trading on 30 times going into this. Like you would surely think the outflow would be far more dramatic in the dot-com. In fact, it was a trickle. It was a trickle of money out over the next several years. So the swing of the pendulum out of this has been incredible. And I think that's coming back to volatility presents opportunities. Again, now you're looking at large cap names that have, there's no liquidity risk here. They're like, this is Google's, this is you're talking about Meta. You're talking about companies that are on the forefront of innovation that are trading at the lowest multiples in their history, right? And that to us is very interesting. So a Google trading on 15 times earnings, a Meta trading on 12 times earnings. Like this is not price to sales, price to magic type. You don't have to price to eyeballs, whatever it was back in the dot-com bubble, right?
That was it.
You don't have to. That was it. You don't have to stand on your head to make this all work. Obviously, these are dynamic markets, but I think we'll talk about it a little later. But the Microsoft news shows you incredibly, in Chat GPT, is that you need to have a position in tech, right? You don't want to be a Luddite. You don't want to be the caveman in investing. I get it. A lot of resource investors kind of steer that way. Like, I hate tech. I hate everything about this. How can you say that? Like let me record your entire life from start to end, from the moment you wake up. And I guarantee you how much of your life is interacting with tech, right? And that I always find interesting about commodity investors. They're always like, I don't need that. Just give me a barrel of oil to sleep on. And you know what I mean? I'll be fine. And I'm not saying you don't have oil and natural gas in your portfolio, but
yeah, you can
live with the reality of your everyday life.
Absolutely. Including oil. Absolutely. But,
Yes.
but Thomas, I want to get your take. What's the Microsoft story to you? What is it?
Yes, the Microsoft story is incredible, right? So let me just rewind with Satya Nadella, right? The CEO. So literally, if you want a case study, and I'm sure there'll be incredible case studies written about this, but do you remember the Steve Ballmer era? Like Steve Ballmer was the previous CEO of Microsoft. Basically, took that company nowhere, right? It was the definition of dead money up till 2014. And let me put this backdrop. This is like in the backdrop of a raging bull market, right? Like equities are all going up, tech stocks are going up. Microsoft was a dead company. Satya came in and literally retransformed the company. Like everything was like basically took the software business, what we know is Office 365, put it on the cloud, basically sent that to the moon. Then LinkedIn, which is still not the greatest social media platform, but made it one of the most profitable that there is. Xbox, the hits keep it's just such an incredible, when you have an incredible operator, and then coming to this Chat GPT, which is AI. And what we think here, and this is very interesting, is that this is cutting edge technology. They took a bet on this in 2019, $1 billion. And now they're saying, listen, I'm going to throw $10 billion on this and really, take a 49% stake. They're going to get 75% of profit until they get their 10 billion back. It's an incredible deal. I think where we're going to see Chat GPT, which is basically you type in a question, you get a real clean answer. How that's going to transform a lot of industries. A lot of people are just saying, oh well, it's going to be about how you type stuff, and what I mean, like I type a paragraph better than that. Sure you do, but talk to developers. If a developer can double their productivity, that to me tells me I don't need to know about the paragraph written right or whether it's politically correct. Could care less. I care about the most important engineers in the world right now are programmers. Can I double their productivity? Oh, heck yeah, I can with ChatGPT. And that, to me, is one of the most profound examples of AI.
So we only have about 18 seconds in this segment, but I'm wondering how all over are portfolio managers in the Microsoft story, do you think?
I don't
Is
think very
everybody
well.
there?
I don't think very well at all. I think it's
Okay.
nothing's bringing price. It was basically flat on the day. I'm like, listen, that's great for me because I want that.
Quick break.
I want that asymmetry on
We'll
my
take a
side.